Hi there, everyone. My name is Christian Eschbach. Welcome to another one of my album reviews, and I am going to finish off a Black Sabbath triple shot while starting a Ronnie James Dio triple shot. We're talking Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell. I did buy the special deluxe edition. All the Sabbath I've been covering, they're all the remasters. I'm not covering the original versions of the album, just the remasters, because I'm replacing all of them because I love Black Sabbath. And some of them I just didn't have. Like this one I didn't have, so I bought. Let's be clear, I am one of those people that does believe Black Sabbath ended when Ozzy left the band. But I've only ever really listened to Ozzy and Dio. And I do truly believe that Dio with Sabbath is a different band. So them going by the title Heaven and Hell, I honestly was cool with, and I really dig in the later years. I have only recently been slightly exposed to some of the other Sabbath years. I'll be honest, my dad was the one that kind of got me in. Not just my dad. There was my dad and my stepmom. They were kind of, when I was younger with the, oh no, it's only Sabbath with Ozzy. And I do believe that. And I'll explain why as I go through this album here. So, my understanding from things I've heard in the past is this album was written and almost completely ready to go before Black Sabbath wrote and recorded the Never Say Die album. Ozzy, when between Technical Ecstasy and Never Say Die, Ozzy had left the band. They started working on a new album. Ozzy decided to come back and go for one more album, give it one more shot. So that was the Never Say Die album. And we get to the point where Ozzy's like, no, I'm not going to do that. We're going to do all stuff that we do together like we did in the old days. I don't want to do stuff you guys did without me. Stuff they did without him. I do not believe that this album is entirely... I think there was a lot of influence from Dio in this album, even though, going by the story I just told, you wouldn't think there's as much. They never really said where Dio was. Like, I don't know if they were working with Dio and then Ozzy came back, so they said, Ronnie, we're going to do this, see what happens, and I don't think anything's going to work, so we'll be back to finish this later. Or if, they got Dio afterwards and they already had all the stuff basically written. So this album has 8 tracks, 3 of which you can define the importance of by the inclusions in the bonus tracks, which I'll get to in a moment. Then 1 or 2 of them I would say are significantly decent Sabbath tunes. So we're talking, there's 5 tracks on here that definitely really kind of hold their own. The rest are debatable depending on your level of fandom. So I'm going to right away talk about the bonus album. The bonus album is just live tracks. That's all it is. Different variations, but they're all live tracks. To me, except for the Lady Evil mono 7-inch edit. The problem with the live tracks is there are seriously, as I've already mentioned, 2 of the songs are repeated 3 times throughout the live tracks. And one of the songs is repeated twice. And honestly, those are usually some of the bigger songs from this album, from this time period. And then other than that, it's you get a couple of the other tracks in here once or twice. Let's get into this. We got the song Neon Nights, which kicks off the album. Whoa, yes. Heavy, fast, in there, kicking it off good, man. I mean, that's a way to start the album. And it sounds like Sabbath firing on all cylinders. Nice, fast, furious, getting some real, I want to say, that Paranoid kind of vibe with the speed and everything like that. It's got the speed and the vibe of like Paranoid, but it's not Paranoid, not comparable. Totally different song. Just got that momentum, that yes to it. Solid start to the album. From there, we go to Children of the Sea. So, picture high speed, indie style racing. Get out there, those nice little tiny rockets on wheels. Picture going from that to a nice mellow voyage on the sea, sort of. That's the best way I know how to describe the transition. Children of the Sea is a good song. It's a really enjoyable song. It's in the grand scheme, the giants, that catalog, which is Sabbath, that I am at least familiar with. It's not a spectacular song. It's not a bad tune, but it definitely is from this time period. Let me be very clear. I would absolutely love to hear Ozzy doing Neon Nights, okay? I'm sorry, but that is a song where I think it'd be cool to hear Ozzy do it. It's a Black Sabbath song. To me, that's how I see it. Children of the Sea, not interested. From there, we go into Lady Evil. Lady Evil's kind of cool. I really dig this one. Part of the reason I dig this one is it's got this cool groove, bass groove going on in it. I really dig it. I really like how it moves. I really like what it does. Bluesy kind of vibe. Old school, reminds me of when I hear the demos of the early Sabbath stuff from more when they were going by Earth, Groovy that way. Then we get to the album's title track, Heaven and Hell. Whew. One of Dio's best performances. One of Sabbath's greatest songs. Sabbath as a whole, okay? One of Sabbath's greatest songs ever. I do not want to hear Ozzy do this one because you got to have the range, and this is not a song with a range, Neon Nights Ozzy could do, the range isn't quite the same. It doesn't have quite the same importance. Heaven and Hell, it'd be interesting, but it wouldn't be cool. Heaven and Hell is a fantastic song, though, let me tell you. I think Heaven and Hell really, if I were to ever put together a list of the 100 most important metal songs or the 100 greatest metal songs or whatever, Heaven and Hell would definitely be on there. Because it's just that important of a song. It's just that fantastic song. The way it's built up, the way it delivers, everything like that. Everything about it is just an amazing, amazing song. Now, through listening to this album, Neon Nights, Children of the Sea, Lady Evil, Heaven and Hell, solid the whole way through. There is not a bad track in there. Children of the Sea and Lady Evil are so-so, but they're only so-so by Sabbath levels and Sabbath style. If you were to compare to Rainbow era Dio, if you were to compare to even Dio solo stuff, solid tracks. But this is the thing, is Children of the Sea and Lady Evil definitely have what I would call a Dio solo era vibe, more so than from any other era. Although I do definitely hear in Children of the Sea, I definitely hear a little Rainbow influence. I will be honest there as well. Then after that, the album for me really kind of takes a drop. Wishing Well Die Young and Walk Away, they're all decent, solid songs. They're decent, solid rock songs, though. They are definitely more in the line of Rainbow for me, big time. Much more in the line of Rainbow. Have much more of that rock group to them. I don't even want to say Deep Purple. I want to specifically say more Rainbow because it's not even necessarily the Dio era of Rainbow. It's also even post Dio era Rainbow. Where I can't think of the vocalist's name off the top of my head, but the Since You've Been Gone era, even, you know, that there's definitely that kind of vibe, rock vibe to it, not a metal vibe, not even the proto metal. It's like really, honestly, just rock. And I know there's definitely going to be fans. There's definitely going to be fans of Die Young. There might be fans of Walk Away. There might even be fans of Wishing Well. I can't say. Out of those three, though, Die Young is the only one I can really see having the real true blue fan base to it. And then the album finishes with Lonely as the World, which I think is a great closer to the album. I think it's a solid song. And when I mentioned at the beginning that to me there was 5 songs on this album, you got the first 4 songs and then you got Lonely as the World at the end. Those to me are the 5 songs that kind of make this album. And Lonely as the World, I just enjoy listening to it. I don't have a really good reason. I think this is a great time period and a great reflection in music. I think that if they had possibly even come out as Heaven and Hell back in the day, as opposed to calling themselves Black Sabbath, they may have done decently. I don't think they would have done as well, but they may have done decently if they had called themselves Heaven and Hell and promoted themselves as a super group, as opposed to calling themselves Black Sabbath and carrying on after the the Ozzy years. It's hard to say. I do know that being Black Sabbath also hurt them at the same time because Dio really just wasn't interested in doing Ozzy songs. I know he does a few, but he just wasn't really into them that much. And like there's no Ozzy era in the bonus tracks. And when I was talking about the tracks, Children of the Sea is on here live 3 times. Heaven and Hell is on here live 3 times. Neon Nights is on here live twice, and Die Young is on here. There's also the musical interlude E5150. Ooh, 5150. Ooh. E5150 to be precise. Anyways, yeah, that's where this album pretty much goes. I think if you are a Sabbath fan, yes, you should have this album. But I will put a caveat. You can find a solid, high quality best of or greatest hits mix of the Dio era of Sabbath. You may want that a little bit more because like Dio only actually in the early days, like I know there was later on, but originally Dio only did, if I remember correctly, 2 albums. There was this one and Mob Rules. And between the 2 albums, there are some definite choice cuts. But it's kind of like you got 2 albums that could make one great album, but they made 2 albums with some not as great tracks. That's how I would say it. Those are my views. Those are my thoughts, my opinions. Let me know what you think. That's what the comment section is for. Leave a comment below. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. That helps out me. Helps out you. There's also a share button. That definitely helps out me. There's a Patreon link below. And other than that, folks, peace, love, take care.